Has she bothered to explain the matriarch's game to you?
Uh, Vaguely, she likened it to a game of chess, but that's about it. Let me see. That probably explains what she wanted to talk to Sebastian about. You know, Sebastian, who was Liu Kane's butler, but also my and many others' friends, was summoned from hell, and upon his contract becoming void, he was dragged back down. None of us knew how to bring him back. Turns out Mother did this whole time, and the only reason she brought him back was to use him for this, and then to send him right back fucking down. I thought she had a heart, and it was just stuck in a block of ice, but the more I'm learning, it seems there is no heart. It is just ice.
I'm sorry that you have to learn such things. There had been hope for the woman long ago, but when she had decided to make attempt upon my son, that bridge burned. I am not one to suffer those who come upon my family with ill intent and ill regard.
All I wanted was to make her proud. I did everything I could. I put up with so much. I went through so much. I I got over the fact that she helped me get fucking kidnapped. When I tried to talk to her about it, she told me to get over it. And so I did, and and to anybody who asked, I said, oh, it helped me grow. I'm not as scared anymore.
That's a terrifying circumstance, though. That is not something easily gotten over.
I did everything I could, and when she needs help, she told me to just not get in the way. I may not be as, strong as Coffeetta or Frax, or, as capable at gathering as Nilessa or Sebastian, but I do have things to offer. I'm not just a waste of space. I,
You're not, and it's terrible that your sire has deemed you such. You don't need to stop crying, dear. You need an opportunity to actually let it out. Go on, you're not going to ruin the couch, I promise.
uh, thank you. She, she didn't say it to my face, but I was around the corner making some potions because we were running low, and I heard her refer to me as yet another failed Lucane child.
Because the woman seeks a perfection that none will give her.
When she first offered to resire me, I told her I she said she saw something in me, and I told her I couldn't see it, but that I would try. I would do my best, and she promised that that would be enough. She she promised she would love me and help me grow and become who I could be, and now I don't know what's real or if any of it was real.
She has a history of going after those who are lonely, downtrodden, fledglings, any who would not be able to see through the machinations she enacts. It is probably part of the reason why she was so quick to try and find leverage against I have quite the experience seeing through such things. Give me but a moment. I think there's someone at the door here.
Of course.
Yes, darling?
Do you have need of anything, my lady?
Could you bring up a couple bottles of pure blood, no wine? I think she would probably feel better without without wine in her right now.
All right, 2 scholars?
Yes, please.
All right.
Actually, hang on a moment.
Yes, my
Julia,
lady.
darling, what do you prefer
Yes.
to drink?
Oh, that's all right. I've got my own blood. I wouldn't want to impose.
Nonsense. It's hospitality. You are a guest in my home.
I suppose I'm partial to rogue.
Then a rogue and a scholar, please. And I think someone rang the bell outside.
Yes, that's Alice.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, dear. Thank you for at least being willing to let me honor the rules of hospitality, dear.
Of course, I have been told before that by refusing such, even if it's for well intent, it can come across as rude. So
Oh, no, not at all. It's nice to be able to entertain people instead of just endless meetings upon this dire circumstance or that dire circumstance.
I
To be
see.
able to talk with someone and have a conversation that isn't who's dying next.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. I I feel pathetic right now, and I'm sure that's partially to do with the shit my mother's put me through, or the shit
That is
Lady
partially
Lucane
the
has put
conditioning,
me through.
yes.
Um, but there's a part of me that kind of scares me, that wants to hurt her back, that wants to show her I can do things. I'm not just this little nothing.
Thank you, darling.
Uh,
I appreciate it.
Of course.
How's your tea party going, dear?
It's going well.
Oh, good.
You're both welcome to join us if you wish.
Thank you for the invitation. I will see what comes from here.
Okay.
All right? It would seem that Akira forgot that I said pure blood. So if you're not amicable to Merlot, that's perfectly fine.
it's quite all right. Thank you.
Well, I can offer you two options. I can offer you a pillow, or I can offer you a sword. The pillow is a comfort, the chance to air everything off of your chest, to get free what you feel. The sword is where I work upon solutions to help you. Which would you like, darling?
the sword. I think there are situations where, a hug and being told everything is going to be alright is most helpful, but right now I think I need to stop feeling sorry for myself and do something.
Alright. First up, you need to put more distance twixt you and her, and I do not mean physically either. The fact that you keep calling her mother still creates that bond associated with the idea that there is chance to please this woman.
I've been trying in the past cycle. It's not a particularly easy habit to break.
No, it will not be easy to break, but so long as you are vigilant upon yourself, you should be able to start moving in such direction.
I have also made certain that all of my doors are locked, and I've made sure to leave no easy ways in. We may live right across from each other, but that doesn't mean she needs to have access to everything.
Exactly. Though the further physical distance you can make, the better. Don't make it easy for her to be able to come and knock down your door.
We live right across from each other.
I know. That's why I was speaking earlier about the idea of Mia setting up a castle much farther away. So that when the time comes, you can simply abandon the one across from her and move into that one.
She has a home up in Gloomrot. Mother moved recently, and when I told her I wished to take my own space, so now we live directly across from each other in Farbane. I'm relatively sure the only reason she accepted was because our sigil was full, and yet there were those who needed access, and I told her it was for the sake of growing and becoming more.
The more distance you make, the better. And you said you're down in Farbane now.
Yes. About not very far southeast of the fishing pond.
The plot that sits near the King's
Southwest.
Road as it runs up into Dunley?
I believe, I'm sorry, I'm unfamiliar with, oh, sorry, there's a mosquito, sorry. I'm
It's
unfamiliar with
alright.
maps.
The King's Road
so-
is the northern road of Farbane that runs from east to west and goes right by the bandit stronghold where Quincy resides. I've called it the King's Road for a very long time.
Then yes, I believe so.
Then I think I know the plot you
spot.
spot. I think I know the spot you speak upon then, with two territories that face each other, correct?
Precisely.
Good to know. That is, well, within a rock's throw distance of each other. That's far too close. Start making your idea upon moving what things you find important to the estate in Gloomwort.
I'll try, I don't want to risk Maya getting hurt more. I know it's probably selfish of me not to want to ask for her help, but if I can prevent any pain, or at least any more pain from coming to her, I would like to.
Which is the next thing. Find out about this contract. All the details you can. I'm versed in contract magic, though mine is more binding in blood than binding by fey. There are similarities. I might be able to give you proper direction to help.
Right,
But after that, and this is the part that is going to be hardest, you are going to have to make a decision. To remain Lucane, or break this bond of blood.
I know I should, but the thought terrifies me for some reason. Mother told me once that it was permanent electra, or sorry, carnage.
Here's the thing. How permanent is it? If Lucane can threaten her son, daughter Alistair with taking it away.
She did?
She did.
That's news to me. Is Alistair alright?
Alistair is, in regards to that topic, all right.
We exchanged some letters earlier, and I told him he wanted to speak more. I made him aware I was currently not in a super great standing with Mother. She is also frustrated that I am frustrated, to say the least. And he said that they made up and then just give it time, etc., etc. Rostein, wasn't he relatively close with the rest of you as well? I vaguely recall, I don't remember who, somebody referring to him as a bridge between the two families.
He had been. He is the reason why I had stayed my hand so long in regards to Lucinda.
I see.
But Lucinda crossed the line.
Yes, she tends to do that a lot.
I've kept my blade and blood off of attacking hers and her own in our little centuries-long tete-a-tete. She crossed the line and made me almost have to know that my love perished.
No one deserves that. When you live as long as Kindred do, finding someone that you love and really earnestly want to spend the rest of your life with is precious and shouldn't be taken away by someone else.
I must attend to.
Of course, take your time.
I do so apologize. That was a rather quick spirit for me.
It's alright. Truth be told, I actually have to deal with one of my own quite quickly. It won't take more than a tick.
Go ahead, darling.
She'll be okay. She'll be okay. Just real tired.
Right. The spirits have been taken care of.
Oh, good.
Thank you for your patience.
Of course, darling. Look, I understand my family is fairly chaotic. Chaos fire is kind of in the blood, unfortunately. But the fire of passion burns bright in all of my children, and my grandchild. So a little chaos is going to happen. It doesn't mean I love them any less, nor do I have less pride upon them. Even if they get a pain in my ass, honestly, sometimes.
I think I would take the warmth that comes with this chaos and the cold that comes with with Lady Lucane's supposed order.
If it is something you so desire, and if it is something that you are truly sure upon, I can break this bond of blood for you. But understand, it will have to be done so with mine own blood. It is probably the only thing that could break the Lucane blood's hold on anyone. So, if you are to take that step forward, know that you would do so coming under the blood of Sidra. But I will explain to you thusly. The blood of Sidra is a gift given. It is a breaking of chain. It cannot be taken. It cannot be used as a cudgel against you.
Lady Lucane uses the blood that I openly welcomed inside me as an anchor, a chain almost to the duty she claims I must fulfill. A duty that at first I was almost excited for, and then when it became clear that it wasn't me that she wanted, but a kindred she saw as someone she could break
Malleable.
down into a billion little pieces and then rebuild with just the parts she wanted, I realized it wasn't me she wanted.
If you would indulge me a bit in a little spat of storytelling.
suppose.
I was originally human. I have been embraced. The thing is, I sought being embraced because I saw it as a way to break the chain of the society that I lived in at the time. Women were considered little more than pretty breeding sows for the lords of families. And thusly I, in turn, had been promised to a man, told that I would bear his children, and grow his family name. And I told my parents that I would give him till the birth of our third child to impress me, to show me that he could be more than the good high lords that surrounded us, who toiled upon their wives and their children, while they sat and lavished back upon all of the good that came from those people. And so I worked to seek my chain broken. I found a man by the name of Lysander, who was willing to sire me, after a long and sordid affair with him. I spoke sweet words to him, let him know that he was my only, that he was everything I could have wanted if only I could be with him for longer than my short human life. He drank it like the finest Merlot. And he embraced me. An embrace of choice. And with that, the paradigm of my world shifted. My chain to my society had been broken. There was none who could force me to remain what they wanted me to be. To ensure my chain truly broken, I took my sire into the garden. We had a lovely conversation as he sat in his favorite chair. And I had told him I would present him with a gift. All he need do is close his eyes. I had ensnared the man so much by that point, he saw no problem closing his eyes on a newly bitten predator. And in his favorite chair, I wrapped him in silver chains to bind him to that chair. I turned his chair to face the east, and then I sat under the shade. Oh, how he yelled. Oh, how he cursed, demanding that I take and release him from the chair. He even tried to pull upon the sire's bond, but he did not realize that he had made a monster, not just a kindred. A monster with a will that will not bend to any. And as the sun rose, it began to burn. And in his burning, in his death throes, his dying breath, he laid a curse upon me. And yet, that curse too has been broken. I have performed of my own embrace the breaking of chains. And it is through my blood that it ripped a boon from the curse he laid upon me. That it shall broker none before it. What is a man to a king? Go on, answer. What is a man to a king?
Are you asking for like a comparison or what a king would think of a man? I tend to interpret things rather literally, so I've taken to asking for clarification when I ask questions.
What would a king think of just a common peasant man in his kingdom?
Not much, that's for certain. Disposable.
All right. What is a king to a god?
Likely the same.
Then what is a god to a non-believer who usurps all thrones before it?
Huh.
My blood brokers nothing before it. It has been called the usurper's blood. It burns away whatever is there, making sure that it is the only blood that remains.
I see.
And since then, those that I have full consumed, their very being, my blood will take something from it. Increase its power, increase its capability, do things that are normally reserved to certain blood, certain ideas. It is a usurper in all regard. My blood will always remain Citra, and I am the progenitor of my line. And that is why I typically have kept such information quiet. But Simon saw fit to tell Lucinda, and thus it doesn't really matter anymore.
You're incredible.
I'm sorry, dear. Spirits might have taken your voice a little.
Just you're absolutely incredible.
I have fought and earned everything that I have to my name. I have fought and earned my titles. In fact, I just got another one last cycle, and I don't know if I want to use it. It's a little even by my standard, this one's a little pretentious.
I have neither owned nor fought for anything that I have. I was complacent to an abusive family when I was human. I was turned by some wretched creature that's probably dead by now, on my way home late at night, and I woke up the next
And now
morning
you're another.
alone. I was ecstatic at the thought of having a family, and one that seemed to be genuine. One that could maybe make me more than just this scared little nothing. And I do think I've become more. I don't apologize in every other sentence anymore. Lady Lucane counted the first conversation we had, and within the first 2 ticks, I had already apologized at least a dozen times. I am less apologetic for existing now, but I still have a ways to go. But she doesn't seem to be able to see the progress that I have made, and that, I think, that's part of why it hurts so much. Because I thought I'd grown so much, I thought I'd become so much more, so much better. I thought I had at least started to become somebody she could call her daughter without shame. But if she considers me to be such a shame, such a waste, such a failure, then perhaps I should show her how wrong she is. How can I hurt her back? I know that's childish and
By a life well lived outside of her control.
that would only work if she actually cared.
That is true, but in order to achieve that life outside of her control, you would take the Citra blood. And she be shown truly how weak it is to be Lucane blood against mine. That would hurt her, because she put so much importance on her blood and her name that she would wish to forcibly resire someone just because they use the name.
suppose. I'll give it more thought, I promise.
It's not something I want you to rush into whatsoever. It is something you have to decide with the full of your being. If you are going to do something, be sure of it. But I am willing to help you break your chain, should you wish it.
What would you like in return? I don't...
Dolia, I do not want in return from you doing this. My very existence as vampire is breaking chains. I would be a poor individual to ask something in return for this.
I suppose. I don't know much, but if you have any questions about Lady Lucane, I can try to answer. Even if you don't want anything from me, I at least want to offer something.
I'm not going to pump you for information, Dolia.
But
I've
offering
already...
it.
I know you are. But it's entirely possible that you might end up feeling later that you felt in a position you had to give such information because of the conversation that we had. And I do not want you to feel that way. Do not worry. There is a reason one of my titles is a Spider of the Sullen Thorn. I have quite a bit of information upon Lucinda Lucane.
I
But
see.
if you wish to help, I do have something you can help with, if you would follow me.
Of course.
You have an open cage at your estate.
We do not. I've not been able to build any cages yet. I can go back and build some.
No. That would take far too much work to extend a gift. But perhaps...
Dolia, the matter upon which you can help me
Dahlia,
is ensure that my family has a nice tea party.
Is that all?
That's all.
I can try. Hello.
Hello, Dahlia.
Oh, you're a
Go
clever
on,
person.
have a seat,
Hello.
dear.
Sorry. Sorry.
It's all right.
Oh, you have your hair back. Wait, no, you don't. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I missaw. I'm so
It'll
sorry
come
if
back.
I'm so sorry if that's a sore subject.
Lady Dahlia, it's good to see you.
Uh,
Please have a seat, Estrella.
As much as I would love to, darling, I'm needing to send some more missives and see who is still to entreat upon my time. You ladies have fun.
All right. You try to make some time for me later.
I will endeavor to do so.
Hate to be a burden on our calendar.
You could never be a burden to anyone. And if anyone ever says otherwise, I'll punch them myself.
That is a sentiment I could likely help with. I usually carry a very large stick.
No touching. You have a dress in your bag. You'd like to... Yes.
Think of any good puns lately?
Why did the mermaid start wearing seashells?
Why?
She grew out of her bee shells.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm going to have to use that. Oh, that's so good.
What do ghosts like to wear?
What?
Blue jeans.
Jeans truly are wretched to wear, though. I used to live on a farm, and we would, it would make the most sense in terms of clothing to wear, but good gods, do I find them uncomfortable.
What does a ghost like to eat?
Food cheese?
Blueberries.
That's perfect. How have you been since poetry night?
Fantastic.
Worried, but otherwise all right.
I
I
suppose
have my
that's
own
fair.
place now.
I saw that in your letter. And if I'm picturing Silverlight correctly, it might be my mother or Lady Lucane's old plot.
Lady Lucane is your mother?
Yes. No,
Yes.
not something I'm very happy with at the moment. That's actually why I was talking to Lady Sidra, but it's, I don't want to, it's fine. I don't wish to bring the mood down. So, but yes, I would love to see it sometime.
It appears you're talking with all the ladies of Cedra, then.
It seems so.
Why is that?
Well, I enjoy humor, and it seems far too many kindred in these lands don't have any, at least none that are, not asshole in nature. Uh, I didn't realize I liked poetry before, and I don't like poetry when I have to present it in front of several kindred, but I found that I do enjoy it. Truth be told, I had kind of forgotten that you, Isolde, were a Sidra until I received your letter, and then I remembered, wait a moment, they're related.
Yes. Lady Isolde, High Lady Isolde is my mother. Estrella is my sire.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes, many, many centuries ago. I had been originally sired by another vampire who was very abusive, so I got resired by Estrella to free me of him.
I see. I
Seems
never
to be
knew
a
my
tradition.
original sire. Yeah, I never knew my original sire. I was bit in the middle of the night, and then woke up like this, and never saw the wretched creature again. I didn't know what to do. I went back to my human family. That's how I got the lovely scar on my face. He decided that it was mercy, slashing me across the face with a pitchfork and then letting me live.
Bastards.
Yeah, don't worry. I went back. He's dead now. By my hand. That wasn't how I expected the encounter to go. Initially, I just intended to go show them, hey, look at me, and pardon my language, fuck you. Uh, and then they decided to say words they probably shouldn't have given the position they were in, and now my human mother and father are dead. I have a joke for you. How does Dracula get his torch to turn on?
I don't know.
With batteries.
Ha! How did Dracula get his army?
I'm not sure.
He found some demons and knocked them up. Knocked them?
Yep, yeah. What did the child vampire say before going to bed?
What was that?
Turn on the dark, Mom. I'm scared of the light.
That's adorable. How do vampires store their blood for later?
I'm not sure.
The casket.
uh, what did a vampire say after drinking blood from a bodybuilder?
I don't know.
Wow, that's strong. You know,
Clown eats 2 cannibals and said, "How do you like it, bitch?"
why don't mosquitoes bite vampires?
I don't know.
Professional courtesy.
Game recognizes game.
Precisely. You know, what's worse than a hungry vampire?
I don't know.
A thirsty one.
Well, for us, it's all the same. Why don't ghosts like to read horror stories?
Why?
They don't have the guts.
oh, that's a good one. You know, why are some vampires so naive?
I don't know.
Because they are born suckers.
Did you hear about the kidnapping?
That depends which one. There have been several as of late.
Well, he woke up, but
You're funny. I like you.
I like you too.
That's good. I try. Too hard, it seems.
What is a happy vampire's favorite drink?
I'm not sure.
Be positive.
You know, I realized a few cycles ago that there was a song my human mother used to sing sometimes. It was called "You Are My Sunshine." I, thinking back on it, it's kind of ironic.
That is very ironic. Did I ever tell you the story of how I became a vampire?
I don't think so.
Well, more than a millennia ago, there was this family called the Crimson Shields. And they were basically not as famous, but similar to the Belmonts. They hunted vampires for a living. I was the last one. I decided I would live up to my family's legacy and hunt some vampires, since a vampire killed my parents. And on my very first hunt, guess what happened? I got turned into a vampire.
Uh,
There was a man named Gregory who I was in love with at the time. And he's the one who gave me the intel on a supposed fledgling vampire. Well, it turns out that the vampire was not a fledgling. It was an elder vampire, thousands of years old. And so me and the people who went to hunt it, well, they all died, and then I was turned. Gregory had done it deliberately. He wanted to get me out of the way so he could marry someone else. He didn't expect me to come back as a vampire and drain the blood from him.
Good. What a bitch move. Sorry, pardon my language, but like,
Oh, it was a total bitch move.
what a coward. He would rather send you off to your death than to just say, hey, I kind of like someone else. Like, what the There's a reason I've given up on most men.
Well, Gregory is long since dead. I drained him right in front of his new wife.
Hmm. Deserved. I have one last joke for you. It's also a little bit of a warning. If a cup has ever had holy water in it, you should never drink from it again. There's too much risk of cross-contamination.
That's good.
Thank you. Truth be told, I only have but a couple ticks before I must head to Torpor again. Spirits pulling me, this cycle and the next. However, I would love to meet again, exchange more jokes, perhaps just talk. You are quite fun.
How does a vampire put on makeup if they don't have a reflection?
I'm not sure.
They just wing it.
I love that.
Did you hear about the half man, half bull who worked at a museum?
I didn't.
He was a tour guide.
Thank you all for having me, and sorry for the intrusion. I know I just kind of showed up.
That seems to happen.
Me showing up in particular, or just Kindred in general?
Just kindred in general.
I see. Lady Sidra is helping me work through some things with my mother, and I asked if there was literally anything I could do to help because she said she didn't want to ask anything of me, and she said yes, so I was excited. I like helping. I don't like feeling like I'm taking without giving. And she led me down here, and now I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've been wonderful company.
Lady Estrella will not ask for much directly.
I noticed. I even tried offering, and she still declined. As such, I will pay with bad jokes. What do vampires usually call their boats? Blood
What?
vessels.
Why do vampires make such great miners?
Why?
They're experts at emptying out the veins.
What do you get when you cross a vampire with a snowman?
Frostbite.
Ah, yeah, there we go. Excellent.
I think we're driving my daughter and my sigil mate crazy with all these puns.
Alas, a fate most tragic. How many vampires does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
None. We don't need it. Right, unfortunately I do have to take my leave, but this has been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
I don't know how to leave. I'm sorry.
What do you call a tavern full of blackbirds?
I don't know. It's nice to meet you as well. Alice, you said your name was? It's been a pleasure. I apologize for my humor, and thank you for humoring me.
You're most welcome here. You don't have to leave if you don't wish.
I need to enter torpor, but thank you.
Most welcome. Do continue to write.
I will. I do hope we can meet sometime soon, just for the sake of poetry. The
I would
one,
enjoy
the one.
Thalia,
Oh, yes.
tavern full of blackbirds. It's called a crowbar.
Oh, I love you.
Your delight as well.
Thank you. Be well, all of you, and give your grandmother, your mother, Lady Sidja, my regards.
Of course.
Just got to return home.